sky, an invitation to trace the pattern of stars. And early in July, a celebration for freedom that is ours. And I notice you in children's games, in those who watch them from the shade. Every drop of sun is full of fun and wonder. You are summer. And even when the trees have just surrendered to the harvest time, forfeiting their leaves in late September, turning us inside, still I notice you when change begins, and I am braced for colder winds. I will offer thanks for what has been and what's to come. You are autumn. And everything in time and under heaven finally falls asleep, wrapped in blankets white. All creation shivers underneath, still I notice you when change begins, and in my breath on frosted glass. Even now in death you open the doors for life to enter. You are winter, and everything that's new has bravely surfaced, teaching us to breathe. And what was frozen through is newly purposed, turning all things green. So it is with you and how you make me new, with every season's change. And so it will be as you are recreating me, summer, autumn, winter, spring.
Love that is Unity of South Sound. My name is Anita Landry, and it's my honor to welcome you here today to our Sunday morning celebration service. We hold that you are not here by accident, but by divine appointment. Unity provides a positive path for spiritual living. We teach inspiring, practical spirituality, something you will experience in each Sunday lesson to enhance your personal journey of spiritual unfoldment. If you have any questions, concerns, or joys to share, please contact our office or visit our website at unityofsouthsound.org. At this time, we invite you to place your cell phones in airplane mode. And now we invite you to relax reconnect, and center in the truth of who we are. Will you please join me in saying our opening affirmation? There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe: God, goodness, omnipotence. Our mission statement: inspired by the divine, as an inclusive spiritual community, we explore and express our highest potential. Our vision statement: present and centered in divine love, we co-create a peaceful and awakened world. And our core values: we are love, joy, abundance, and spirit guided. And now Reverend Michael will lead us in an opening prayer.
Good morning. So if you're feeling up to it, take a deep breath. Inhale that connection that you have with every breath as a spiritual experience. And as we connect with that part of us that is always and ever present in our minds and hearts, we bless this day as we bless each other. And as we continue to unfold and open our hearts and our minds, we know with certainty that we can definitely rely on the spirit of this thing we call God to be there. For in the perceiving power of the mind, we are linked with the power to shape substance. And we are here to do just that. So let us welcome this day and this time together in love and harmony. And so it is.
We want to take a moment to thank all of you who may be joining us for your first time in person or online. Thank you for sharing your consciousness and your love with us. If you're here in person, we invite you to pick up a welcome packet at the information table at the back of the sanctuary, which contains helpful information about our ministry. And we encourage you to sign our guest book so we know who you are. We affirm and trust that people who come to Unity feel at home. As we engage in getting to know each other, we hope to see you again. Wherever you are on your journey of faith, you are welcome here, for we honor and respect the choices your soul makes on its spiritual journey. Now to all our newcomers, our live streamers, and all of our friends joining us this morning, we want to share our Unity blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. Now I invite you to stand if you're able and join with our song leader, Stacy Lawrence, in our congregational song.
By and by. both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us by and by.
Now is the time to take a brief moment to greet each other with a namaste greeting, and especially reach out to those you haven't met before. If you're not a hugger, make sure you give a namaste bow or reach out to take someone's hand. And to everyone here this morning, namaste. I behold the divinity you are. We invite you to find your way back to your seat as we prepare for our next song.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you.
The inspirational reading today is from the Daily Word from March 16th, 2023. The word is amazement. I stand in amazement at the beauty of God. I can become so accustomed to the beauty and majesty of the world around me and within me that I may lose my capacity for amazement. Today, I renew my wonder and appreciation for the miracles of life surrounding me. As I gaze upon the natural world's beauty, flowers in bloom and birds in flight, the orderly rhythm of sunrises and sunsets, tides, and seasons in transition, reasons to be amazed abound. I am amazed at the miracle of my very life, the beat of my heart, and the breath in my lungs. Perhaps most of all, I am humbly amazed by the awesome mystery of God. God, the source of every good thing, my constant comfort and inexhaustible strength, the love in my heart, and the truth of my life. In the scripture, who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, doing wonders? From Exodus 15:11. And now, Reverend Michael will lead us in a time of meditation.
I brought for you a different sound to listen to in conjunction with the bowl that Reverend Megan normally uses. I have a bowl that I'd like to share with you. This bowl was crafted by hand. And a lot of the bowls that we've seen in the past are machined and they're done on a lathe and they're very beautiful. This one, not so much. This one looks beaten. And you can see there's little tiny cracks and hammer marks all over it. It was presented to me by some of the Tibetan monks when they came through the United States and hoping to share their spirituality with the Western world. And I think you'll find it has a beautiful resonance to it. So when I meditate, I just listen. I just open up my mind and my heart and my consciousness, and I just try to listen. And that's active listening, and connecting with my breath is what makes me feel the connection that I am always in alignment with a spiritual connection that I have. So it's something that words cannot describe, so I'm going to let you feel it. So if you close your eyes and open your mind and see how this feels for you. Allow your next breath to be a little deeper. And as you return your awareness to the time and space in which your body occupies, bring back with it the peace, the stillness that you find in the place of silence.
When I was a boy each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still, but now I can keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was a rare at best, I barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world out there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face, say it's not a testament. Well, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come to say it's not a sacrament. Tell you that it can be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me wanna bow my head
everything is holy now. It used to be a world off there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. Now I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
It's a miracle. Do you believe in miracles? Okay, now by a showing of hands, how many of you believe in miracles? Okay, most of you. Okay. What is a miracle? Don't shout it out, please. I'm just asking, think about it in your head. What is a miracle? And I find that there's some debate about that. There's some discrepancies in there. I grew up in the Catholic faith, so you had to have a certain criteria that you had to, you too, huh? That you had to hit before you could consider something a miracle. And if you could do 2 or more miracles, you could be a saint if you should aspire to be so. So many people have this idea that miracles are special. Others say miracles are phenomenons. They say that that happen either when the stars align perfectly in the heavens so that everything that has been going on previously to it all of a sudden stops, changes gear, and goes in a different direction. We call that a miracle. I don't know. God intervenes in the plan that is already divine and perfect, to intervene to change that plan so that we could have a miracle? That didn't sit right with me. And so I wanted to take a look at it. Some people think miracles are the result of answered prayer. And then that says to me, okay, then what is prayer? Okay, well, we'll get to that another time. Let's stick with miracles. So, bar none, the very greatest of all miracle workers was Jesus, right? Don't you love it when somebody comes up to you and says, I'd like to talk to you about Jesus? I mean, it makes everybody comfortable, doesn't it? Yeah. And to me, it doesn't matter whether you buy into whatever concept of miracles that feels good for you. I'm fine about that. But today I'm talking about how I approached it when I was learning about these types of things. And it seems that Jesus performed 37 miracles, at least the way they're listed in the Bible. So we're going to go over all 37 in chronological order today in great depth. Okay, all right, okay, we won't do that. But I want to just touch on the highlights. So approximately 30 of them had to do with healing, and only 7 or 8 had to do with what we'll call other. And one of the biggest others was the miracle at Cana. Now, I know you all remember that one from, John 2, 1 through 11. And this is when Jesus turned water into wine. And I got to thinking about that. What was he doing at that wedding, turning water into wine? Why was he doing that? So Mary, whoever Mary was at that time, because there were about 100 of them, there really are. And Mary asked Jesus to fix a problem. You see, there was no more drinkable wine at the wedding feast. Now, who's supposed to take care of the wine? Just very similar to the way it is today, that the bridegroom provides the booze. And that's what Jesus was supposed to do. And all of Jesus' friends were Jewish. They were looking for kosher. And that wine that they were going to bring out to their Jewish guests needed to be kosher, which means blessed by a rabbi, of which Jesus was one. And therefore, He blessed that wine, made it drinkable. Maybe that's all there was to it. But maybe he took actual water and turned it into grape juice and then fermented it while he was there. I don't know. But I want to understand the concept of miracles. Now, miracles in and of themselves are broken down into categories, as I see it, or at least excuses for miracles or rationale for miracles. They're either anomalies, illusions, psychosomatic experiences, or miracles. Now, an anomaly is something that we do or didn't understand, but maybe we understand better now. I'll give you an example. If you have a male and a female dog and they're both black, for them to have a yellow puppy is an anomaly. Right? Miracle? Maybe not. How about this one? A bumblebee should not be able to fly, according to the laws of physics. Those little fat bumblebees, you've seen them, right? The little tiny wings like this. Well, the truth is, as we found out more about bumblebees, we found out that their wings are made of a material called resin. And resin is so extremely expandable that those little wings expand to 3 times their size. And all of a sudden, we can understand why bumblebees can fly. Miracle? No, just a lack of information, a lack of knowledge. So let's take a look and take a look at illusions, because sometimes miracles are written off as illusions. So what is an illusion? Well, if you've ever seen a really good magician, an illusionist, he can make things appear. He can also make things disappear. Do you see where they made the Empire State Building disappear? And people were like, well, it was just there a minute ago. Well, if you're a really good illusionist, you can make people believe things through sleight of hand, a bit of trickery, but a miracle? Probably not. Now let's take a look at psychosomatic experiences. Psychosomatic experiences is something that I'm very, very aware of. And any of you who grew up in the boomer generation might know a little bit about psychosomatic experiences. I mean, LSD and some really good THC and maybe some of the other letter words that you know that belong to drugs. But those experiences can get pretty wild and fantastical and some might say miraculous stuff. When I was a child, I was diagnosed with a psychosomatic disease. And after years of testing under the doctor's care, I was given a diagnosis that my condition was beyond the doctor's ability to heal me. This put me into the hospital at the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic. And they found out that they too were stumped and stymied by my malady. I was just a year into adulthood and doomed to face my lifelong demon. Fear. This is only to say that our minds are extremely powerful and creative things, and yet they cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's not. Have you ever had a dream that you were falling? Have you ever had a dream that you were being chased? Have you ever seen something that turned out to be an illusion? Or a psychosomatic experience? Or an anomaly? Or a phenomenon? But a miracle? What did I find out about this concept of fear? Fear drove my actions in many cases in my life. And when I felt afraid, I felt less than. I felt like I needed to find some place, somewhere to put what I truly believed in. So fear ruled my life. And I will tell you that in my way of thinking, living in fear is living in hell. I mean, if I could define to you one place and you say, well, define hell, I would say it's fear. Because I don't believe it's a real physical place. I think it's a place within my own mind. And when I can think about the things that within my own mind I fear the most, it's fear. Consequently, I think that there must be something else that would be able to overcome this concept that I call fear, or hell, if you will. And I found out that for me, it's seeking the truth. And from the truth, love. Love, I think, casts out fear. What a miracle that would be. Can you imagine me, this kid living in fear all my life, all of a sudden casting out the biggest demon that was ever inspired me to do all the crazy and stupid things that I've ever done? But love. According to Marianne Williamson in the Course of Miracles, a miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love. And I have to tell you, I'm so glad we agree on that. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of the Unity Movement, said that a miracle is a metaphysical thing. In reality, miracles are events that take place as a result of the operation of a higher, unknown law. A true action is governed by law. Nothing just happens. All happenings are the result of cause and can be explained under the law of cause and effect. Amazing. Cause and effect. Well, the cause of my discomfort, the cause of my expression of insanity is fear. How do I walk away from that? How do I get out of that? How do I shift my perception from fear to love? Now, it seems to me that in New Thought teachings all over the place, we talk about this spark of the divine that lives within each of us. And this spark of the divine is able to help us transcend from the level of spirituality that we're in to a higher level. And so if you trace that back, there's a concept that might be heard inside of that we are divine by nature. So how do we explain that? Are you God? Some might say yes. Some might say that's blasphemous. No. I would say let's look deeper into the truth so that we can find the love that conquers the fear that might be sitting inside of all of us, that this fear can be overcome by love. So how do I do that? Well, let's take a minute. If billions of years ago there were explosions that were happening that created this garden universe, and amongst those explosions were volcano eruptions or volcanic eruptions spewing lava rock all over the face of the planet. Now, if you were to pick up a piece of lava rock and look at it, would you look at it and think, oh, volcano? Is the lava rock the volcano? No. But it has the nature of the volcano in it. Similarly, the oceans have waves. And each wave is not the entire ocean, but each wave holds the nature of that ocean. So too are we the offspring, the byproduct, if you're looking at it scientifically, of God. So if it's true that we are made in the image and likeness of God, then we too are the offspring, the byproduct of that God. You can look at a painting on a wall in a museum and you can see the painting and you can say, if you know Renoir. If you don't know what that is, just a pretty picture. That's why the truth is important. That's why we ask and we learn and we grow in our experience of spirituality. So that we can know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. I think it's what Jesus meant when he said, I am the vine and you are the branches. You're not the vine, but you are the branches, and therefore you express the divine through you. By the same token, I don't believe that God loves you. I think God yourself, and the more you allow yourself to be used, if we dare, by the love that moves through us, the more we feel that love for ourselves. It's a cause and effect thing, just like Fillmore said. So where do we need to go to become the miracle workers that we are destined to become? The things that I have done, you will do, and even greater than these things shall you do. What does that mean? It means we are destined to become miracle workers. Are you interested? Because you can always just sit back and let the world happen to you. I guarantee you, if you sit back and let the world, it's never going to get done. These seats will never be filled if we just let it happen. Now, make no mistake, I also believe that when we let go and allow God to work in and through us and around us, as us, that things will happen. But do you want to be actively involved in your spiritual evolution? I think that's why you're here. I think that's why you're here, that you will be actively involved in your spiritual evolution. That's why I come. That's why I married a minister. Just saying. You cannot be fearful and perform miracles. Can you imagine Jesus walking on the water and go, oh no? Or when he raised Lazarus from the dead, you think, God, I hope this works. Everybody's watching. I think that Jesus was fearless. I also see Jesus as about 6'4", 240, with a big booming voice, so everybody that was listening on the side of the lake there would be able to hear him. And I don't think that he was very timid about how he believed. I believe that he was very strong, very convinced that he was a lava rock, a wave. And I think we are called to be lava rocks and waves. I think we are called to spread this thing that is encapsulated in fearlessness. Love. Love with reckless abandon. Love without intimidation. Love putting yourself into a position of service. Because truly, love and service go together like lava rocks and waves. Take a moment to see the correlation of what is yours to do. Because nothing happens